Lebanon burns! Israeli drones strike deep into Tyre and Bint Jbeil, killing what the IDF calls 2 Hezbollah terrorists. But Beirut calls it murder, another breach of a fragile ceasefire already hanging by a thread. As smoke rises over southern Lebanon, political pressure mounts in Beirut. Hezbollah faces not just Israeli fire, but growing calls from within Lebanon to surrender its arms. The question now, is the truce dead, or has the next war already begun? Two people were killed, and a third was injured in Israeli airstrikes in southern Lebanon on October 7th, in the latest violation of last year's ceasefire agreement, the health ministry said. A ministry statement said that a strike targeted the town of Disarm in Tyre, killing one person and injuring another. One more civilian was killed when an Israeli drone hit a bulldozer in Yatta town in the Bint Jbeil district, the ministry said. However, the IDF said in a post on X that it eliminated 2 Hezbollah terrorists in southern Lebanon. As per the post, the IDF, led by the 91st Division, struck and eliminated, via the Air Force, the terrorist Mahmoud Ali Issa from the Hezbollah terror organization in the Deir Amas area in southern Lebanon. IDF said that the terrorist Mahmoud Ali Issa served as the local representative of the Hezbollah terror organization in the village of Kafr Kila in southern Lebanon. In his role, he was responsible for linking the Hezbollah terror organization with the village residents on economic and military matters. The post further said that earlier on October 7th, the IDF struck and eliminated a terrorist from the Hezbollah terror organization who was operating an engineering vehicle in the Zibkin area in southern Lebanon. The terrorist was struck while attempting to rehabilitate terror infrastructures of the Hezbollah terror organization. It is noteworthy that Israel reached a ceasefire with Hezbollah in November 2024, following a year-long cycle of cross-border attacks between Hezbollah and Israel that began in October 2023. The conflict escalated into a full-scale Israeli offensive by September 2024, resulting in more than 4,000 deaths and around 17,000 injuries. Under the terms of the truce, Israel was supposed to fully withdraw from southern Lebanon by January this year. However, it has so far only partially pulled out troops and continues to maintain a military presence at 5 border outposts. Meanwhile, Samir Geagea, the head of Lebanon's main Christian party, the Lebanese forces, told AFP in an interview on October 7th that Hezbollah should surrender its weapons to the state as soon as possible. Iran-backed Hezbollah is facing growing pressure to relinquish its weapons after suffering major losses to Israel last year, following its intervention alongside Hamas in the Gaza conflict. Amid heightened US pressure and fears of further Israeli military action, Lebanon's government is moving to disarm the group, with the army initiating operations to enforce the plan in the country's southern regions.
Hezbollah must certainly learn from what is currently happening with Hamas. This is an additional reason for it to hand over its weapons to the state as soon as possible.
Hezbollah was Lebanon's only movement that refused to disarm after the country's civil war ended in 1990. The Lebanese government has suspended the work of a Hezbollah-linked NGO for its role in projecting the images of 2 former Hezbollah leaders on Beirut's landmark Pigeon Rock in Rausch neighbourhood. The cabinet suspended the licence of the Violates Association until an investigation is completed, despite the opposition of the organisation, Hezbollah and at least one minister appointed by it. Violates was responsible for projecting portraits of former Hezbollah Secretary-General Hassan Nasrallah and his short-lived successor Hashem Safieddine at an event on September 25th, against an order banning the display. The association describes itself as one that seeks to spread arts and culture across Lebanon in creative formats. Information, Minister Paul Morkos said the decision was taken in an attempt to balance maintaining public order on the one hand and respecting the freedom to establish associations guaranteed by the Constitution on the other. Rissallah held a solidarity gathering against the move in Beirut's southern suburbs while the cabinet session was ongoing. Supporters of the association have condemned the government for focusing on the suspension instead of Israel's deadly daily attacks on South Lebanon. Prime Minister Nawaf Salam was previously seeking to dissolve Rissallah entirely. He urged local authorities to prevent any unauthorized usage of landmarks. In the end, the gathering was given permission to go ahead, but without the projection of the assassinated leaders. In the cabinet agenda on October 7th, Interior Minister Ahmed Al-Hajjar had tabled the request for Rissalah's suspension. His ministry had accused the association of violating laws governing public property, encroaching on it, and using it for purposes other than those designated and for activities that affect public order without prior authorization or approval. Judge Jamal Hajar, the Attorney General at the Court of Cassation, has already questioned 2 people over the Roush incident. Nasrallah, the longtime former leader of Hezbollah, and his successor and cousin Safieddine were killed just over a year ago in separate Israeli airstrikes while it increased its bombing campaign on Lebanon. Hezbollah is under severe pressure domestically and internationally to disarm, but is resisting the move.